Forever. Dog.
Welcome back to Zall Good with Alexis G. Zall. I am your host, Alexis G. Zall, obviously, as I am the only one talking currently and the one introing the show. This is the podcast where we talk to the guests' parents and we get the scoop on what they were actually like before we go in and talk to the guests themselves. What you guys end up listening to is a mixture between the two interviews. So who you're going to be hearing from today is one of my good friends, Rebecca Black. She is such a gem, and we have known each other for so long, but we only recently really got in there and just made each other be friends with each other. We have made so many circles around each other. She used to live with one of my best friends, Andrew, and there were just so many opportunities that we did not meet. And now finally our lives have come together in a beautiful fruition. Rebecca is genuinely one of my favorite musicians. She is so talented. I'm obsessed with her EP, Rebel. It is all about growth and coming into your own, which are themes that I think are super positive and relatable. Whenever people ask me, oh, what does Rebecca do? I say she is a pop star because she is literally a pop star. So please enjoy my chat with pop star Rebecca Black.
Hello.
Hi, Georgina. This is Alexis from Zall Good with Alexis G. Zall. How are you doing today? What have you been up to?
Oh, very good. Oh, just at work. This week we are celebrating Veterinary Technician Week.
She is a veterinarian. She is a really good veterinarian. She spent a lot of time. She still goes to school for it, and as always, she's super. She tries so hard to be the best of her field, and she does it every time. So she specifically is a specialist in internal medicine for small cats and dogs.
So patients get referred to me, for example, a dog that has been losing weight and they can't figure out why, or a cat that is, having coughing for a long time and they don't know why. So I those are the patients I see.
She's just very passionate, very fiery, but not in a mean way at all. Just super protective mom. I think she would literally die for me and my brother. I think that's how she has always seen life, is for her kids. So
to circle back to your beautiful, wonderful daughter, Rebecca.
I'm glad we agree on that.
For those of us that may not know, what can you tell us about her and her career so far?
Goodness, I could probably talk for hours. I could tell you a lot. I could tell you that, as from a mom perspective, I'm super proud of her. She set out to do something, and she did it. And it's been a lot of hard work, a lot of sleepless nights and a lot of just getting up super early, going to bed super late, putting all her energy and effort and emotion into it. And she's been successful, and I'm super proud of her. She started out when she was very little, singing, just at home. And now she's traveling the world performing. So
I didn't start really singing until I was 9 or 10. I actually started as a dancer. So when I was 3, my parents put me in dance and my brother in karate. My brother hated karate. I happened to love dance. And that was what started me, I was always on stage doing recitals and little things here and there. And I kept at it. I kept doing it. I kept taking classes. I was never a ballerina or anything like that, but I loved performing and I loved the feeling of being up there. And then some way or another, I got involved in this performance group, which was called Celebration USA. And it was a group. I really don't know how. My mom would know better than me how we got involved with this. Outfit was white tennis skirt, nude tights.
Great.
Bobby socks, sneakers. When I say 100% sequin, I mean 100% sequin vest with an American flag on it.
Right.
White t-shirt.
So did you sing very American Proud songs?
Only. Like American, like heritage songs.
So you were there to
and-
celebrate the United States of America.
Absolutely. Bright red lipstick, big bows. And we would perform at anywhere from like, we went to Camp Pendleton, which is like a military base. We would do like retirement homes. We did sing the national anthem at an Angel game once. That was cool.
That's pretty cool.
But it was intense. It was so fun though. Like that was the first time I ever really needed to sing in anything. Mm-hmm. And I just figured out that I loved it. And I loved it in a different way than I did dance, or like even I'd done little acting things here and there. Like it was just like, whoa. So that's where I met like my first vocal coach. I started taking lessons, and I really fell in love with musical theater after that.
And what, in your eyes, is the most exciting career accomplishment Rebecca has achieved thus far?
I think there's several things I could consider exciting accomplishments for her. Perhaps one is that that she's done it on her own, and that's super exciting for me as mom. The fact that she's been able to travel to so many countries because of her career. So, she's been to Greece and Italy, and she's just going around all over the place, Australia, the Netherlands, and the UK.
I've never been to the Netherlands, Mom.
Okay.
Norway. I've been to Norway, but not the Netherlands.
So she said Netherlands, and I was like, I've never heard about that, but I must be missing a story.
Georgina! Her memory is not the best.
So, do you have any specific like travel memories that stand out to you of like traveling somewhere for the thrill of the job?
The thrill of the job. I think my favorite trip for travel was Norway, because I got to be there for a week, and I got to make music, which is great, and like I actually like hang out and like see it. Which I like. Like I like when I'm going places, I want to actually like kind of feel like I'm living there.
And to have a career that you love, that you enjoy what you do, and it gives you the opportunity to see the world, I think that's incredible.
Also, Norway sticks out because it was the hardest trip to go on of my life. Why? Because the day of my flight, these flights were booked for like months, and I am an adult, but I'm not fully an adult.
Sure.
So sure enough.
I feel that hard.
Yeah. So my fully not adult stuck out that day that I was supposed to fly. I realized my passport was going to expire in 2 months, and you can't go to Norway with that.
Ooh.
So I had to like cancel my flight. Well, I tried going. Georgina, I listened to you, and she was like, it's fine, go to the airport. She said she called like the consulate of Norway, and like it was fine. And they said it was fine. So I was like, okay, sure. And everyone else was like, no, you have to get this fixed. You can do it. It's just a lot of work, but we can make it. My mom was like, no. So listen to my mom, went to the airport. And
was this a trip when you were younger? Was your mom with you?
This was last year.
So this was last year.
So
you were off on your own being adult.
Yes, I was
rolled
going
up to
with
the airport.
I rolled up with one of my managers who I was flying with. And it was like a songwriting trip. Like I had a session booked the day we got there. Sure enough. They could not check me in, like physically could not. So I had to go home. My passport picture is me crying.
No!
Is me like puffy-eyed and crying in the CVS by the Grove. And
the CVS by the Grove, that is dark.
Yeah, right next to the Whole Foods. Drove there, and then I went home, and I had to wake up at 5 a.m. and figure all the passport stuff the next day. So,
wow. So is that? I'm trying to think of the word. So you expedited the passport process?
Yeah, I expedited it. You can literally go there and be like, I have a flight today. Here's my flight. I need my passport today. And they can do it.
Wow. I didn't know that.
Yeah.
Good to know in case of emergency. I recently discovered some new bed sheets from brooklinen.com. I have had the same bed sheets for probably 5 years, very, very long time, and they are so worn through. And I finally got a new set from brooklinen.com, and they are so comfy cozy. I got cute little pinstripes, and I feel like they really fit in well in my room. And it is so nice to have a pair of nice sheets that is not too pricey. Brooklinen was founded in early 2014 by husband and wife Vicky and Rich. Their mission is to bring 5-star hotel quality sheets to your everyday life. Luxury sheets without the luxury markup, which I can definitely attest to them being very luxurious. Their method is to take out the middleman and keep things personal, just between them and the customer. They have a small business approach, being run by a husband and wife, to being involved in every step of the manufacturing process, to a customer service team that cares so much they remember customers by name. My Brooklinen sheets are the best, most comfortable sheets I have ever slept on, and brooklinen.com is giving an exclusive offer just for you. Get $20 off and free shipping when you use promo code ZALLGOOD at brooklinen.com. Brooklinen is so sure you'll love your new sheets that they offer a risk-free 60-night satisfaction guarantee and a lifetime warranty on all of their sheets and comforters. The only way to get $20 off and free shipping is to use promo code ZALLGOOD at brooklinen.com. That's BROOKLINEN.com, promo code ZALLGOOD. Brooklinen, these really are the best sheets ever. Hey, I am popping in today from my house, and if you listen closely, you can hear my cat purring on my lap. Do you hear that? She is so freaking sweet. I want to talk to you guys today about what I love about Tomboy X underwear. They are just so comfy, cozy, and they make me feel comfy and cozy. It is time to stop wearing underwear that doesn't make you feel confident. You don't want underwear with more frills than function. You don't want underwear your mom got to fem you up. Tomboy X has bikinis, boxer briefs, trunks, boy shorts, bras, racerback bras, and everyday basic colors, fun seasonal prints, and all options come in sizes XS to 4X. Regardless of where you fall on the size or the gender spectrum, Tomboy X offers amazing underwear that any body feels comfortable in. Go to tomboyx.com/ZALLGOOD to check out their special bundles and pack pricing. All ZALLGOOD listeners get an extra 15% off with the code ZALLGOOD. Again, code ZALLGOOD for an extra 15% off. Ditch whatever you're wearing for a pair of Tomboy X underwear. Go to tomboyx.com/ZALLGOOD. Do you find yourself sort of watching and listening to all of the content and things that Rebecca makes, or not so much?
Yes, I watch and listen to just about every single thing that she puts online. I'm probably usually one of the very first viewers. I'm probably one of the first ones to buy any product she puts out. I've even downloaded some apps that she has talked about, or that, I follow her closely. My phone tells me every time she puts something on Instagram, and I immediately drop what I'm doing and I look at it. I really do keep a really close eye on things. And then I honestly, genuinely really love her music. So I do play her music very often in the car.
We have that in common. I also am a big fan. What are some of your favorite songs that Rebecca's made?
Well, I love Satellite.
Mm-hmm.
I think Satellite is great. Probably
The Great Divide?
The Great Divide might be like the song that I think is her biggest piece so far.
As Rebecca, go ahead.
Yeah, and I was going to say, and one of my favorites is Friday. I really still love Friday.
What? Mom, come on. I didn't even write that song. Come on.
And, what was that experience like for you guys as a family?
Well, Friday changed our lives. Of course, it changed Rebecca's life for good. It changed our lives too as a family. There were a lot of different things that took place at that time that made us adjust the way we lived and made us change what we were doing on a daily basis.
What are some of the most notable changes?
Homeschooling. So when it all first happened and we had to turn to homeschooling, that was probably the biggest thing. Of course, now, we're done with schooling, so that at this point is not really a change. But at that time, that was one of the biggest things.
So something that we both have in common that your mom mentioned is
You and my mom, or you and me?
no, the two of us. I don't think your mom also shares this. Is being homeschooled.
What?
What?
You were homeschooled?
Yeah,
Alexis!
Rebecca.
What the heck?
I have been homeschooled since 7th grade. Yeah,
You're still
online.
homeschooled now.
I finished that up. I wrapped that up.
That's crazy.
Yeah, I only went to elementary school, real school.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
So I always think it's super interesting because I think everyone's like homeschool experiences were very different. So what did you go online, or like what was that like for you?
I did every year. So I was homeschooled for like 2.25 years, basically. End of my 8th grade year, which was like pure homeschool because it was like, I think there was maybe a month and a half of school left. And I just was like, everything was so crazy that I was literally like failing my grades because I was either not there, not able to pay attention. I mean, I could have made it work, but I was with Katy Perry, so I had different priorities. Don't really regret it, but I ended up switching out to homeschool. And that was like books and paperwork, basically, where my mom was technically supposed to be the teacher. But I always academically have been pretty independent. Like I've always kind of done things myself. So I basically just finished it up, did whatever I need to do. And then the next 2 years were online, and I did a different program each year.
Okay. Did you ever do K-12?
I did K-12.
I did K-12.
That was my freshman year.
Did you cheat?
Absolutely. Yahoo answered every math quiz. I did 25 math quizzes in one day at the end of my semester one time.
Oh my God. I think I've done something like that.
Yeah, it was miserable. But I did it.
Yeah, it's definitely hard. And I think it's a super interesting test in self-motivation to be young, and you literally have to do it. And there's nobody
telling you have to do it.
It's all on you.
It is. And my mom has always had a full-time job. My brother's at school all day. Same with my dad. So I was always alone throughout the day. And I found Tumblr, and Tumblr was calling my name. So I spent a lot of time on Tumblr, and then I would spend the last 2 days of every semester, especially with K-12, doing loads of work. It was terrible. If you're doing that right now, please don't do it. It's so bad.
It was also just learning how to start working with a profession or that we just had no idea what to do with. We knew nothing about the entertainment world, but nothing. So when it all happened, we had to learn that, and we had to figure out, how does this work? And what do you mean there's all these people involved? And how do you not just, show up for work in the morning and go home at night? That's just not the way it worked. And we had to learn how to navigate that, and how to adjust, and how to still be able to have somewhat of a normal life where you can have breakfast, lunch, and dinner. It was a lot of commotion.
When was the moment or turning point that you realized Rebecca had the potential to be successful in the entertainment industry? Was there a specific moment for you?
Well, I always thought that Rebecca would be. I don't think there was any moment in time where I had a revelation that she was going to be, because I never doubted that she would be. If I look back, there were moments when I thought, aha, I knew it. And it was when she would get phone calls to appear with certain artists or on certain shows. Yeah, that was always aha, I knew it. But I think moving forward, every day as I watch her do what she's doing, every day when I see how she advances, she's been independent. Becca moved out the day after she turned 18.
No.
I mean, basically, but I like 10 days after, yeah.
Okay, got it.
She is so dramatic.
So what was like the driving force behind that? Because I had a similar experience where my mom and I came to LA, and then I turned 18, and like 3 days later I was like, get out. she moved back to Arizona. So like definitely it was that cusp. Yeah. So what was the driving force behind that?
So there was a lot building up to that. As I was in high school, I should actually start with like both my parents, they're both in, veterinary medicine, both went to school for a long, long time, traditional stuff. Like they take education super seriously, particularly my mom, I think because she comes from, Mexico, like she is super uber grateful for all the opportunities like we have out here. She's a citizen now, like she's worked so hard in so many ways. And she just expected, I think, like it was just not a question that my brother and I would go to college. So when I was like 16 and time started thinking of like, okay, time to start applying to colleges. And when I was kind of dancing around the conversation because I knew that I really just wanted to work on music. Like I wanted to figure it out. I, had, because of the whole Friday thing at 13, like I just spent so many years of my life doing things that other people told me to do. And I really wanted to do something for myself. So one day we had the conversation where she brought up like college and stuff like that. And I was like, so here's a concept. I don't go. And that like just blew her mind. And it was really difficult for her to process just because she was like, you're wasting, opportunity and all that kind of stuff. But after a lot of talking and after she did allow me to like, she gave me the chance to fully explain like why I was thinking the way I was. And so I ended up between all of that and that time when you're like leading up to being 18 and you're like kind of an adult, you're not really an adult, you're finishing up school, like all that. I got so just like antsy and ready. And I think also the fact that I knew I wasn't going to college, I just wanted to like start right away.
Is there an appearance or a specific opportunity that has stood out to you as being very cool?
There's many. I think it's probably undeniable that when she got to work with Katy Perry, that was pretty cool. It was her idol. It was who she used to listen to, and then to be able to be there and work with her and with all the other really well-known artists that were on set. That was really cool. I thought, for me, I don't think there's any appearance or anything she does that I don't think is super cool. And every time I watch her, and certainly, lately, being on the show The Four, it's when she was younger, I used to be there all the time with everything because she was a minor. But now that she's older and she's not a minor, I get to just like sit and watch the show on TV.
That's what was weird about growing up in this industry, and you probably get this like more than anyone else I know, is when you're young, like you federally like have to have your parents with you for so much.
Yeah.
And it gets so frustrating.
It does.
Because mixing family and work, like especially when you're trying to figure out your own decisions, but there's just things you can't make, like it is brutal. So yeah, when The Four came up, they asked me like, do you, who can we invite? And they like having family there and things like that because it adds to the story and it gives more background and you have things to talk about. And they like to interview family as well. But it felt right to do it on my own. And that was one thing I talked to my mom about, and I expected her to be like really upset about it. But she was super cool with it.
That was a pretty surreal experience. And I thought that was probably the coolest moment is when she came out on The Four and just laid it all out and wowed everybody beyond belief. That was way cool. That definitely topped it all.
My mom has been through literally everything with me, and I think she felt like, yes, go, fly, do your thing. That'll make my life easy, you know? And it felt good to be there on my own after being with like family for so long. I love them so much, but it's hard. It becomes hard to like differentiate, you know, those kinds of things.
Definitely, like differentiate your familial relationship
With
versus
a
like
work
them being
thing,
your
yeah.
guardian.
Yes.
Yeah.
Exactly.
So what was the experience of being on the show like?
It was crazy. It was so crazy. I'd never done anything like that before in my life. And it was just like as I knew it was going to happen, and like I was gearing up for the show, and you know, there's all these like rehearsals and auditions and things like that. It just felt surreal because I was a huge American Idol fan growing up, and like that's just, I never thought I would actually do it, but I would be like, wow, that is so cool, you know. I just never thought I'd be able to get there. And so when I made the realization that like, whoa, I am on the floor, it was so cool. And I had a really like great experience, you know, with everyone letting me, like I came in with the idea of doing Bye 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 that way. And they were like, yes, let's do it. They were just super encouraging and yeah. It was awesome. It was scary as hell, though.
Yeah. So what's sort of the feelings that you're having as you're getting ready to perform?
Oh my gosh. I think the scariest part is like there's no do-over. Like no matter, unless they like mess up your track technically, they tell you beforehand like, yo, if you decide like not to start your song or whatever, like if because they start the song. And then if you decide not to sing or you're not ready or whatever, like they don't care, you know? Because that works for them.
TV.
Yeah. And I know there's a lot of singers that like perform well under pressure and like they like the nervousness. I don't. Like it makes me quiver. Like it makes me
The
not
word
sound good.
quiver is really good.
Thank you.
Nice
Popped
one.
up. Thank you. And I just get so freaked out. And I was like, oh my God, I cannot let my nerves take over me.
Yeah.
Because I'm going to sound like shit. And they don't do a good job of like making it feel calm. Like they're all
They
about
want
like,
you to be like
Well,
hype.
that. And it is just like big. Like
Yeah.
the stage is massive. There's these huge lights. There's all these people. Literally like the judges are right there and usually wearing sunglasses to make themselves. I love them. I love Diddy and all them. But like they don't not make themselves look like superstars, you know?
Yeah.
So everything, there's just a lot happening and you never really know like when you're going to go on. So originally they started the episode and they shoot that thing for like 8 hours. Whoa. It's not 2 hours. I was supposed to be like the second person up there. So they called me like immediately and I was like, whoa. And they got ready. I was like ready to go holding the mic. And then they were like, whoa, nope, we're changing it. They do that in all these shows.
Whoa.
They change the order of like who comes next.
Yeah.
So all of a sudden they were like, hold on, stay back here. And then this other girl went and I was just like waiting. I was like, okay, it's my turn. And then they're like, nope, another girl went. Then they brought me back. And then they brought me up again. And it still wasn't my turn. Then they brought me back. And the one time I decided to go to the bathroom, they were like, we need Rebecca. So I ran and they like tried to take me. And I was like, I don't have my jacket. Because it was right after dinner. So we like wore these big shirts to cover our clothes. And it was like 10 p.m. at this point. We started shooting at, I think, like 3 or 4.
Wow.
And went to stage. It was nice, though, because I at least got like – I was definitely most nervous the first time. Then we did the thing. And it was – I just had no idea, like, what people would say or, like, how they would take it. But, I mean, it was a really, like – people were – so kind, and all the judges, like, they don't get to keep in everything that they said, but they were so nice and encouraging. And you know, throughout the whole thing, just like, you go girl, like all the labels out there watching, like, look out for this girl. And I was like, okay, this feels nice.
Oh, and you killed it. It was amazing.
Thank you. It was fun.
Yeah, that is so cool.
It was cool. Yeah.
So a question that we like to ask every guest and every parent of a guest, for those of us that only know Rebecca through her music or her social media presence, to what extent do you feel like we know the version of Rebecca that you know?
I think more and more now, people are getting to know who Rebecca really is. I think we went for a good 5 or 6 years where they didn't, because she didn't put out there who she really was. So for years, there was Rebecca, Black, and then there was Becca.
Becca? Who is Becca?
That's
the only thing my mom calls me that, and maybe my dad. Like, you don't know. You're starting to meet Reba. You're starting to meet like Bex.
Yeah.
I got a lot of different people
She's
up there,
got
you know?
a lot of names.
Yeah.
So Becca is the one that I know that her friends now know, and that a lot of the fans are getting to know. Rebecca Black is who they used to know. And there's a big difference. And I notice that difference now, mostly when I go back and look at her very first few videos, her very first few appearances, and I hear what she used to say then and how she used to express herself and how she acted, and now who she is now. Yeah, there's a big difference. Right now you're seeing Becca. Yeah, back then you were seeing Rebecca Black.
Who I was online was not resonant with the person I'd grown up to be. Me, like at 16, maybe, or like 17, maybe. But it's really hard. So I actually was gonna make a video on it, just about like I found myself doing this voice. It's like YouTube voice.
What is it? Can we hear it?
Hi guys, what's up? It's Rebecca. Like, today I'm going to talk about, it's very like, I am a host and welcome to my show. And I don't talk like that. And I was doing a video with one of our friends, Amy Ordman, and she called me out on it. She was like, what's this voice? And I was like, fuck. No. And yeah, that little call out like helped me be myself. So you know what? We're getting there. I do think like this last year and even with like the music that I've been working on, it feels the most resonant of me than ever. So I hope people like it.
Nice.
You know?
What's the music that's we can look forward to?
It's some stuff.
There's
There's a bunch of stuff. I've just been writing my butt off.
Nice.
I just came from the studio right now.
So if we want to keep up with you, how do we do it on social media, and why should we?
Well, log on to your apps, Instagram, Twitter. I think I have a Facebook, but YouTube. Ms. Rebecca Black on Instagram and Twitter, and youtube.com/Rebecca on YouTube. So that's where I am. Why should you? I don't know. Why should you? I feel like
you're throwing it right back. Like
I feel like, you know what? If you like a good Instagram story, I love a little Instagram moment. You can find a lot of Alexis on there.
Yeah, I love that. Love this girl.
Love this girl right here. And yeah, I try to make like interesting content, and music.
Yeah, Rebecca is really cool and talented and has very great style, and I think that you should stalk her on all of this stuff.
Thank you.
Well, thanks so much for being here, Jenny.
I don't want to be done.
Oh, okay. What else do you want to talk about?
I don't know. I want to ask you a question.
Okay.
Lexi.
Yeah. Reeves.
Here's the real shit.
Okay.
This is where we get started. So,
yes, Miss Host.
Oh, I want to ask you back what you just asked me.
Okay.
Of like, this is just a random one question interview, I guess.
Yeah.
But how much of the internet do you feel like knows the real Lexi?
Oh my God, I've
Gazal?
never thought about throwing it back in my face.
I just want to know.
That's such a good question. I feel like it's getting more and more. Like I think that when I'm gonna have a similar answer, but it's also true. I first started making YouTube videos when I was like 13, 14.
Yeah.
And I'm not like that anymore, as no one is that forever, because that would be a non-functioning society. We wouldn't get anything done. No one would drive.
It is happening, basically.
And so I think for a while I was very stuck in feeling like I had to keep being that version of me because that's what people liked. And I wanted people to watch my videos, and then they did. And so I was like, oh, well, I can't change now. I'm stuck in that.
I get that.
And so figuring out how to grow up online has been really, really interesting. And I think that the less pressure I put on myself to like, oh, I should post this because it'll get a lot of likes, or I should make this video because people will like it. Like the less I think about that, the more authentic I feel.
Love that.
And then I feel like the audience that then gravitates towards that version of me isn't necessarily like the same people, but it feels way better. And I feel like I am connecting more authentically, even though it may be like not as quantitative as it once was.
That's it, though.
That's it. That's the tea. And then, like, I would rather make stuff that I'm really excited about and have people watch it who are excited about it as well than make things because I think they'll do well and then the people like them because they're trendy.
Yeah. And I think it's like, I think you're so right because it's the same, like, exactly the same thing that I've been going through just with, you know, music and with YouTube and stuff like that too. Like, it's such a struggle when you do something and then it works. Yeah. And then you're like, but maybe that wasn't like totally actually what I want to do.
Yeah, exactly.
And then you were like, okay, here's something different. Like, what if it doesn't work? And sometimes it doesn't work. That's the thing, you know? But what I try to always get back to is I look at, you know, the people who have actually like truly like shown through and that it has quote unquote worked the best for it. And it is the ones that it took longer. Yeah. But it is them.
Yeah. You know? And I think it's the people, especially with the internet, it's all like a vibe. Like if you like someone, it's very vibe driven, which I know is not quantitative, but it is. Like
yes, it is.
You don't necessarily know exactly why you connect with a certain YouTuber, a certain comedian or whatever. And I think a lot of times it's because that person is doing things that feel really good to them. And it's because they are trusting their gut and going in a direction that they enjoy. And you can feel when people are making things that they like. And that feels really fun to watch.
Yeah, I agree. Wow, good stuff.
Wow, good stuff. Yeah,
great.
Thanks so much
Thanks
for being
not
on the
ending
show.
it.
I'm glad that you flipped it on me. That was fun. Well, I thank you for being here and for listening. I will talk to you guys next week. It's all good. Have a great rest of your day.
Bye-bye.
Bye. Bye.
Forever Dog.
This has been a Forever Dog production. Executive produced by Brett Boehm, Joe Cilio, and Alex Ramsey. For more original podcasts, please visit foreverdogpodcasts.com and subscribe to our shows on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, or wherever you get your podcasts. Keep up with the latest Forever Dog news by following us on Twitter and Instagram @ForeverDogT.